I have been plant-based for about 10 years now, give or take, and I am still here. I think when people ask me like, "Oh, how long have you been vegan or how long have you been plant-based?" and I say 10 years and they're like, "You don't miss this or you don't miss that." I'm like, "No." At first I definitely did. I'm going to be honest. Especially coming from a Caribbean household, my favorite meal was oxtail and rice. My mum's specifically. My mum's oxtail and rice was the best. But as time went on, I realized how good I'm doing for myself, for my healing, for animals. I first went plant based due to health. That was my first thing. I used to get really bad migraines to the point where they wanted to do like a brain scan on me. Like it got really bad health wise. I was prescribed with these tablets. I don't even know what they were called. They were big yellow tablets. It was very difficult to swallow. And after that, I was still getting these migraines. I also had really bad issues with my right knee. I still do sometimes when I'm stressed or when something's coming up with for me. That's my spot. And that's what I found. And it's all about learning about your body. And I know if something's not right in my body or if something's not right surrounding me or anything like that, my right knee will give me a little sensor. And I can't ignore it. But anyway, I was having these issues and then I thought, you know what, because I was doing research at this point, and I said to myself, let me stop eating milk and cheese or stop drinking dairy and cheese. And I was never really a dairy cheese kind of person. Like if I would have cereal, I would have milk. If I had, I don't know, spaghetti bolognese, I would have like cheese. But it wasn't a thing where I'll just drink like cups of milk and things like that. Like the thought of that is personally not my thing. So then I stopped consuming those things. So after the dairy and the cheese, cutting them off completely, I then thought, okay, let me stop eating meat. At this point, I stopped eating pork 2 years prior. Like I didn't eat pork anyway. So I stopped eating meat, but then I was eating more fish. And I started feeling good within myself, and I felt like that's when I started to become like more aware of myself. And I'm going to be honest, the self-love was there. And not to say that before I didn't really love myself, but I was more aware and conscious of how I'm loving myself and my actions, you could say. So at this point I stopped eating dairy, cheese, meat. And then I thought, you know what? Fish. And bearing in mind, this is all like within a year. Within a year, I was just like slowly dropping them down because I was thinking, this is easy, this is light work, and I'm still surviving, I'm still thriving, so why not? And yeah, I stopped eating the fish, and before I knew it, I was plant-based, I was vegan, I was, not to say I started off really good because I was very new to this. So I remember going out to eat, it consisted of a lot of like chips. I remember there was one point in my life where I was eating like 8 avocados in one day with like a little sprinkle of salt, and I was just eating that, and that was content for me. I felt so good, I can't even lie to you. So at this point, I was plant-based vegan. I wouldn't say I was the healthiest because at this point, I was just going in clueless. I was just eating whatever I could, and yeah, anything vegan I was trying to eat. There wasn't really much in the shops, like processed stuff, which was bittersweet because I still didn't know what was going on. So it consisted of a lot of like potatoes, avocados. My journey with eating plant-based has been up and down in terms of I've experimented a lot with the foods that I've eaten. I've been alkaline, I've been a fruit-based, I've been raw, I've been eating a lot of processed food at some point, whole foods. There's so many different aspects of it. But one thing for sure is that I've always listened to my body with whatever I eat. For instance, I did go for a phase of eating quinoa quite a bit. and it got to the point where my belly was so bloated, my body just reacted so wrong to it. And I know sometimes I still eat quinoa, but I know what's gonna come. I know if I eat quinoa today, tomorrow is gonna be a crazy one. So one thing I would always say is just to always listen to your body. So that's what I've done throughout the years, and I'm even till now I'm trying to find, or I'm still on a journey of finding what works for me and what doesn't. With me, I try to eat as much as possible. I wouldn't say I'm strict with it, because there are times when I'm out and if something doesn't fit under it, then I may have it. But I always try to eat gluten-free. What I've found is that wheat does not do well for my belly, doesn't do well for my body. Even now, I think I must have had wheat recently. My throat, there's like a lot of mucus there, and my throat chakra just blocks up. So I know that eating some things can be quite detrimental. It might be good for one person, or it might be alkaline, it might be plant-based, it might be whole foods. But what I found is it still doesn't mean that it's gonna do your body well, because everyone's body works differently. A lot of things go into it. Your blood type, your ethnicity, your gender, so many things go into like how your body responds to certain things. And I think, as difficult as it is, I think it's more of the stubborn thing. I'm still learning that some things might not work for me, and they might work for other people. So what I have found is, what the diet that works for me the best is a fruitarian diet. And I was at my best, my opinion, this is my opinion, I was at my very best when I was eating only fruits. I would break fast with fruits, I'll go to sleep. Before I go to sleep, I'll eat fruits. It's just fruitarian. My body responded well to it, and I didn't have any issues. The first 3 days, I think it was day three on a diet, a fruitarian diet, your body kind of like crashes. Like, you start feeling that pain, like, oh, I want to eat something else, I should break it. But once you get past that 3rd day, I promise you everything is like so smooth. But always do your own research. Don't listen to, not just me, don't just listen to someone on the internet, whatever. Always do your own research and experiment. What obviously I do try to stay away from is the processed food. I'm not like really strict about a lot of things, but obviously one thing I am is that I don't eat meat, dairy, eggs, anything to do with animal products I don't consume. Yeah, so definitely do your research when it comes to eating, changing your diet, or anything along those lines. But one thing I will say is, I've always said, when I move to a country with a warmer climate, I will be eating Ital. I'll be eating straight off the tree. I'll be eating fruits, strictly fruits. But I find when you're in a country with 4 seasons, you have to go with the seasons. You can't just, my personal opinion, you can't just eat fruits from winter all the way through, all the seasons. It personally is not optimal. What I found is going with the seasons. So in the winter, you have your root vegetables, eat a lot of them. In the summer, you get your summer berries. Like, go with the seasons. We need to follow that the same way the animals do, the plants do, we do too. So that's one thing I would definitely say that I've learned when it comes to eating. And even now, I'm still learning, I'm still experimenting. There are times where I do pig out, but one thing for sure is I'm trying not to be so hard on myself. Before I was so hard, like, oh, you've eaten this and now you have to fast, and now you have to go on a water fast, where it's like, no, it shouldn't be a punishment. Everything I find should be a reward. Like, okay, yes, I've eaten this, so tomorrow what I'm gonna do is this. Like, it shouldn't be like, you shouldn't be so hard on yourself. I would definitely say is research is key. I would even advise to like keep a journal of like the foods you eat. If you're trying out new foods, keep a journal of the foods that you try out and how your body responds to them. Because also, as you get older, your body does respond differently to certain things. For instance, for me, quinoa. My body used to love quinoa, and now it's like every time I have it, my body just breaks down and it's not happy with me. So I'll definitely say keep a journal or keep an eye out for your food, because you don't want to be so like strict on everything, which I get. A lot of people like to give their opinion on things and always take it as that, even what I'm saying. This is my opinion, this is my experience, and my experience may be different from yours or the next person's. And some people eat meat, some people eat only fish. That's fine. That's what works for their body, and that's fine. Make sure you're getting everything you need. I find that if I don't get it out of food, I get it out of herbs. I've tried taking like supplements and vitamins and minerals and things like that, tablets and things, but I always forget. I'm more of like a herb. I like herbs, so I try to get it out of there. Like if I need some more iron, make sure I stock up on nettle tea, burdock. Make sure I get my iron. And yeah, always enjoy what you eat. Even if you're cooking it, if you're not cooking it, enjoy the food and don't be so hard on yourself. Everything is a reward. You should just realize how grateful you are to actually choose what you want to eat. And every day before I have every meal, I will give thanks for what I'm nourishing my body with. And it's a journey. Whatever you choose. I also just remembered I've also done a juice fast as well, which was okay. I done it for a couple of days. How long did I do it for? Or was it 30 days? No more than a month. I can't remember how long, but yeah. Anyway, always listen to your body and respect others. I think that is a very important thing. A lot of people like to make comments on how other people eat, whether you eat meat, whether you don't, whether you're a vegan, vegetarian, keto, I don't know, but let's just be respectful of each other. I guess the purpose of this video was just to check in and just to give gratitude for myself for 10 years plant-based. The journey continues and health is everything. Looking after yourself is everything, and respecting each other is everything. So thank you for watching, and yeah, share your thoughts on your journey with food. If you want, this is a safe space. If you ever thought about becoming plant-based or vegan or vegetarian or going on a fast, which I didn't even mention that, I also fast as well. But yeah, share your thoughts. I'll probably do another video on this at some point. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bless.